Hi and welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So today I am here with my January edition of TBR Mini Golf. I cannot believe it's January. Well, it's not January yet when I'm filming this, but I can't believe it's about to be January. It is insane. We are going into 2022. Hopefully we will have a better 2022 than we have the past 2 years, but you know, who knows? I had a great reading year in 2021. I have read so many books, almost 200 books, which is absolutely insane to me considering that before this my biggest reading year was like 85 books, so it is crazy. But anyway, let's get into TBR Mini Golf. If you don't know, this is a mini golf game that I play to decide what I read in the next month, which I have set up and created myself. But before we start on the rules and everything like that, I'm going to take you through what I read in last month, and I will link last month's TBR down below if you want to go and watch that one, and my playlist with all of the past editions of this game on it. So in no particular order, although I think this was the one I picked first last month, I picked shortest book and I chose to read The Sister Who Ate Her Brothers and Other Gruesome Tales by Jen Campbell, and this was illustrated by Adam D. Souza. This was super interesting. I literally read it on the morning of December 1st because it is so short that I thought, well, I'll just read it in one go, get it off my TBR and kind of get a head start on my TBR, and it definitely felt like that. It feels like it's been a while since I read this one, even though it's just been a couple of weeks really. But yeah, I did enjoy this one. However, a lot of the fairy tales did fall flat for me and I just couldn't connect to with the characters that much. The illustrations in this book are absolutely beautiful and I love the way it is designed. But yeah, this is basically stories from all over the world, which I love that concept that it is stories from all over the world and it tells you where each story is from and their kind of origin, which is really cool. But there was only one story that I really loved and remember from this collection. A lot of them were just quite creepy, to be honest. This is meant to be a middle grade collection and I would definitely hesitate giving this one to a middle grade aged child. But I think it depends on the child, obviously, to what they're kind of scared of and stuff. But this guy creepy. But yeah, I think I gave this one 3.5 stars in the end. Beautifully illustrated, beautifully put together, but a lot of the stories weren't for me. This one was sent to me by the publisher, so thank you to Thames and Hudson for sending me this one. So I also picked out Blue Book, and this is the only one that I actually haven't read yet. I am kind of saving it for Christmas. It is not quite Christmas when I'm filming this video, I'm filming it quite early. And this one is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Cosnia, and I'm very excited to read this one. It's a Nutcracker retelling, so I am going to read it this week, which is Christmas week. I am going to start it in the next few days. But yeah, I'm very excited. Haven't picked this one up, but I anticipate that it will be up there for me. I hope. I've heard so many good things about this book and I picked this one for Blue Book. I also picked out favourite author and I chose to read You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. I must point out, actually all of the books in this video were sent to me by publishers. That was non-intentional at all. I just happened to pick up books on my TBR that were sent to me, but a lot of them I would have bought anyway, including this one. I would have definitely bought. Karen M. McManus is an auto-buy author for me, and this is the first one that's actually been sent to me by the publishers, so thank you so much to Penguin for sending me this one. I was very excited. This one came out on the 2nd of December and I really loved it. This one, very typical of Karen M. McManus, it is a YA thriller. It follows 3 students from a school who kind of used to be friends, but then they lose touch and they end up coming back together at the start of this book and flunking off school for a day. And there they go into the city and they actually come across one of their classmates' body. And the story goes from there. It was very dramatic, but I loved it. It was so much fun. I think I gave this 4 stars. I should check up on my ratings before I film this video. But yeah, I think I gave this one 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. Don't think it's my favourite Karen M. McManus book. I'm struggling to pick between The Cousins and Two Can Keep a Secret because I did love Two Can Keep a Secret, but it has been a while since I've read it. But yeah, I would highly recommend anything by Karen M. McManus, especially her standalones, and I did really enjoy this one. I also picked up You Can Go Your Own Way by Eric Smith, and this was for a book haul in the past month, and again this was sent to me by the publisher, so thank you to Harper360 for this one, and I loved it so much. It was so cute. This is about 2 people who were friends and kind of aren't friends anymore, and again they kind of come together in this book. So in the story, one of their dads owns an esports cafe, and that is where Whitney works, and Adam works at his family's pinball arcade. And there's kind of this rivalry between them, which also kind of goes on Twitter. And then the characters end up coming together and actually end up getting stuck in a snowstorm. And it was very, very festive, very wintry, without too much Christmas, which I really, really enjoyed the balance of. This was just so, so cute. I really, really liked the characters. I'm really glad I read this time of year. It was very, very cozy. I listened to the audiobook of this, which I really loved, and I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And last but not least, I read an anthology, which was for the anthology prompt, and that was Black Joy by 28 different authors. This is a non-fiction collection, which I would say is aimed at middle grade or maybe teen. I would put it in teen personally. I think it is a little bit older. And this is a collection of 28 essays about Black joy and Black culture. There are so many things in this book, from radio to barbershops to food to literature, love, music, so many different things. Dancing. I just absolutely loved it. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved all of the essays in this. I wouldn't say there was one that I didn't enjoy. I think they were all written really, really well. And I just, yeah, really, really enjoyed it. It's really accessible. All of the essays are about 10 pages long, and as I said, they are by a complete variety of people. I do find it hard to rate non-fiction because obviously it is very, very different than fiction, but I would give this 5 stars just because it is very accessible, taught me a lot about Black joy. I feel like it was easy to connect with people, and a lot of these stories are from a very emotional place, which I really, really liked. And yeah, I would just highly recommend this to anybody who wanted to read it, or anyone really. I think you should pick this up. It is very accessible. It doesn't read young. That's why I say I would probably put it in teen, but it's definitely one for adults as well. So yeah, that was my wrap up from my December books. Obviously there's only one on there that I haven't gotten to yet, but I wanted to film this video while I still had the time. So I thought I would film it early. I just haven't read one of them, but I'm sure I will love it. I'm very excited for that one. But anyway, let's dive into my January TBR. I am going to swap 2 of the prompts, or add a prompt and swap one of the prompts on here, because I've seen one of the prompts while I've been like moving stuff around and setting up for today. So I'm going to swap one of them and add a new one on there. But before I do that, I will explain the rules to you. So basically I have 4 different holes, which you will see on another camera in a minute. And all of them have prompts attached to them, and basically I just have to get the ball into one of those holes, and then I can pick a book based on the prompt on that hole. If I don't get into a hole in 5 goes, then I do have to add another book to my TBR and start again, and that's kind of how that builds up. If I don't read a book within a month, I just have to add it to next month's TBR, and obviously that would build up as well. And the only other thing I think is if I manage to get 3 hole-in-ones in a game, then I get to give myself a little bit of a treat or a bonus, and I can swap out a book or a prompt. But we've never gotten there yet, so I don't exactly know how that will work if it does happen. So we will see. I aim for 5 books in a month, but obviously that can build up if I do miss holes and I'm just really bad that month. That's only happened once, and I had to read 6 books in November, which was fine. But yeah, I think that's all the rules, so let's get started. I'm going to swap a prompt and pick a new one for green, which was where we ended on last month, and then we'll get started. So to pick a prompt for turquoise, I'm going to go with this one. I don't know if that's upside down. I think it's upside down. Okay, this one. And then a prompt for green, we're gonna go with this one. Okay, I've just tilted the camera down a little bit so you can see, and also you should be able to see on the other camera now what the holes look like. But yeah, let's get started with the first book, see if I can get it in 5. I got it in 1! Yay! Maybe this will be my game. Okay, let's see what prompt I literally just put on green. Okay, so this one is for a pink book. None come to mind, but I will have a look at my TBR and we will choose a pink book. Okay, so it's not completely pink, but I don't have any completely pink books, so I'm gonna go with this one. And this is You and Me at the End of the World by Brianna Bourne. Again, this was sent to me by the publisher, so thank you to Scholastic for sending me this one. Although I'll try and pick some books I actually bought myself in this video. But anyway, I don't know, this one just draws me because it might be an interesting one for the start of the year. It's about an apocalypse. And it's about Hannah and Leo, who are, I think, the last 2 people at the end of the world. So yeah, they are the last two people in their city, and they basically explore a barren world and realise for the first time they can be true to themselves instead of what everybody expects of them, because obviously they're the only two people left. So yeah, this one sounds interesting. We'll see how it goes. Why not add it to my January TBR? Okay, I'm going to choose a new prompt for green. And I'm going to choose this one. Okay, let's try again for the second book, and let's see if I can get another hole-in-one. Oh, it bounced off blue. So I'm not getting another hole-in-one. Third go. I really hate that turquoise one. It always just goes down there. Yay, it went round blue. Never actually goes fully round, and then I just have to ignore the fact that it happened. But yeah, it went all the way around this time, so we got prompt off blue. Okay, so this is for a book you've had for over a year, and I have one in mind that I'm just going to do. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. I've had it for probably 5 years now, and I feel like it's January. It's a good time to get these books out of the way that I've had sitting on my TBR for so long. I'm gonna pick, and I'll show you in a second. I'm gonna pick More Than This by Patrick Ness. I went through a phase of reading Patrick Ness books 5 or 6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and I picked this one up and never read it. I lent it to a friend for a while, and I have it back, and I still haven't read it, so I feel like it's finally time. I'm just gonna force myself to read it. I don't know why, it's always just been really, really daunting to me, but it's not that long, really, and the writing is quite big. She's done nearly 500 pages, not quite 500 pages. I have no idea what this is about anymore, so I'm gonna read you the synopsis. It says, a boy drowns desperate and alone in his final moments. He dies. Then he wakes, naked and bruised and thirsty but alive. How can this be, and what is this strange deserted place? As he struggles to understand what is happening, the boy dares to hope. But might this not be the end? Might there be more to this life, or perhaps this afterlife? I don't know why I'm choosing post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic books, you know, but we've got 2 of them. Okay. This is where this is going. Let's pick another prompt for blue, and we'll pick my third book. Okay, I am going to go with this one. And it's time to pick my third out of 5 books. Oh, I didn't quite get it in orange then, that would have been another hole-in-one. But I got in orange that time. I mean, it didn't quite go all the way through, but I think I'm going to count that. It's nearly there, it just got caught on the way. So let's see what the prompt is on orange. This is an interesting one. It's a TBR jar pick, which I haven't updated my TBR jar, or it's actually a teacup, in a long time. So I will do this, but I can't guarantee that I will actually get one on the first go that I haven't read, because I've read a lot of them in there, I think, now, and I need to update it. But let's try. So this is my TBR teacup. I've printed a lot of covers of books that I've owned and haven't read yet and popped them in here. However, I feel like I've read a lot of them, so we will try and pick a book out of here, but it might take a few goes. It's very full and therefore kind of hard to pick from. I'm going to try this one, see if I've read it or not. Oh, okay, I haven't read it, and this is The Song of Achilles by Madeleine Miller. Okay, I did not expect to be reading these books in January, but it is happening. This is super interesting. I'm kind of glad that it picked there. So this is the cover that I had in that jar. I do have 2 copies of this because I do have the special edition as well, the anniversary edition. But yeah, this is another one that really, really daunts me because of the hype and because I know it's going to make me cry from what I've heard. So it's very, very interesting that this has been picked, and I will be reading it in January because it's not one I probably will have picked up myself. So okay, I don't really know anything about this book other than it is a Greek mythology retelling, and that it's sad, but I feel like this is so popular that a lot of you guys will know what this is about anyway, so I don't think I'll really say that much. It's about Patroclus and Achilles, and yeah, that is really all I know. I know it focuses a lot on a relationship, and I know it's sad, but I feel like a lot of you guys know already what this is about, so yeah, this is the third book Very interesting. Let's change the prompt on orange and wood to go for the fourth book. I think that's the first time we've had a TBR jar pick prompt as well, so that's really interesting. And I didn't know it was on there at all. Okay, I'm gonna put okay, I'm gonna pop this one onto orange. Okay, let's go for the 4th out of 5 books. Okay, let's go for the 4th out of 5 books. Bounced off orange, let's try again. Oh, I got one in turquoise. I like getting one in every single hole because then I feel like you get a whole range. But yeah, let's see what was on turquoise. Okay, this one is middle grade. Oh, I have an idea for this, actually. I have a few ideas. Okay, I'm gonna pick one. So I was umming and ahhing over this one and Front Desk by Kelly Yang, but I'm going for The Monsters of Rookhaven. This one I picked up back in October, I think it was, when it was our children's book of the month at Waterstones. So this one was sent to the shop by the publisher, not necessarily sent to me, but I took this proof copy anyway. But yeah, I want to read this in the winter months, so I think this one might be quite cool to read in January. Again, I don't really know what it's about, so let's read the synopsis together, which is very, very brief. But it says, Mirabelle has always known that she is a monster. When the magical glamour protecting her unusual family from the human world is torn and an orphan brother and sister stumble across Rookhaven, which I think is this old house that they live in, Mirabelle soon discovers that friendship can be found in the outside world. But the tear between two worlds has let danger in, and as evil stalks Mirabelle and her family, it quickly becomes clear that the true monsters aren't necessarily the ones that you can see. So that's really, really interesting. Excited to read it in middle grade. I feel like that might make my TBR a little bit easier, if not necessarily lighter. But yeah, let's go for the 5th book. I'm super interested in how this TBR is going. I feel like it's the most out there one yet, for lack of a better way of saying that. But anyway, let's pick another prompt and go for the 5th and last book. Okay, I am going to go for this one, which has been cut a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to put this one on there. Okay, for the 5th and final book, I don't know where to aim because obviously I don't know what any of these prompts are and I've done all of the holes, so let's just see how this goes. Okay, we went straight through green again, another hole in one, but I don't think that's 3, so we won't get the bonus, but I don't want to swap any of these books anyway. I feel like this is super interesting. Let's see what the prompt is on green. Well, I said I wasn't going to include more proofs in this, but I literally got proof. So I'm going to try and pick one that comes out that I actually have that comes out earlier in the year, and I think I know what I'm going to pick, but let's see. Okay, yes, I found the perfect book. This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi comes out on the 3rd of February, so this means I will actually read the book before it comes out. Yay! What a good start to 2022 this will be. I just need to succeed at reading this now in January. But yeah, this is a Tahara Mafi book. This is a fantasy that comes out on the 3rd of February, and I don't really know anything about this one as well, but let's read the synopsis together, which I feel like is a theme of this video. So it says, clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long-forgotten queen destined to save her people. To all the world, Eliza is a disposable servant, not the long-lost heir to an ancient Jin kingdom forced to hide in plain sight. The Crown Prince, Cameron, has heard the prophecies foretelling the death of his king, but he could never have imagined that the servant girl with the strange eyes, the girl he can't put out of his mind, would one day soon uproot his kingdom and the world. Okay, I'm really interested because I've read Shatter Me, and I didn't like it that much, but I've read Tahara Mafi's contemporary book, A Very Large Expanse of Sea, and I absolutely loved it. So this one being a new fantasy, a new series, and also says perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo and Tbr Teacup, which are both authors I've read from and loved, I thought I would give this a go. So when the proof came into work, this is by Electric Monkey, I thought I would pick it up. So I'm gonna read this one, gonna read it before it comes out, which is quite cool. So yeah, excited for this one. Let's go over quickly all of the books that I chose in this video. So first we had Pink Book, and I chose You and Me at the End of the World by Brianna Bourne. And then we had a book that you've had for over a year, in which I chose More Than This by Patrick Ness. Followed by a TBR jar pick, which I chose, well, I didn't choose, the TBR jar chose for me, Song of Achilles by Madeleine Miller. I honestly still can't believe that. And then we have The Monsters of Rookhaven, which I chose for middle grade, and this is by Harrick Kenny. Don't know if I pronounced that correctly, so I'm really sorry if I didn't. But last but not least, we also had Proof, in which I chose This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi, and that was for Proof, which, crazy, what a TBR, but I'm very excited to get to this. I feel like it's kind of, all of these books are kind of like apt for January because they're not necessarily ones I would have picked up otherwise. Was thinking about reading this one soon anyway, but all of the others are just like completely random ones off my TBR, which I feel like kind of fits January quite well. But anyway, that wraps up my random January TBR mini golf game. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out any of my other videos. And this TBR mini golf series will be linked down below in the description, so I will see you next time in another video. Bye!